Welcome to Pixel Academy Live. I'm your humble host, Will. Today with us is, as usual, Carissa on the demo, Simon behind the camera, and Eric answering your live Q&As in the chat box. Got a short program for you today to bring you some Google Mobile Services update and also Google Assistant tips and tricks. But first and foremost, let's look at what's new. Now Pixel is rolling out 7.1.2 since last week, have some stability, security, and performance fixes right in there. And the notable fix will be the Bluetooth issue where it keeps turning off on its own. And now it should be ready to go. So if you haven't gotten 7.1.2, make sure you check System Update. Now let's look at the Google Mobile Services update. Here's Marty, my lovely, super high, energetic dog. She loves to run around so much every time we go to the beach. It only takes her 20 minutes to bounce right back up after an hour of run. I wish there's some apps that I can just keep her entertained and exercise her brains. And where would the app developers put those pet apps to? Introducing Google Play for Pets.
Wouldn't it be great to keep them occupied when we're not around? Introducing Google Play for Pets. Just go into Google Play Store, select the Pets category, and browse through thousands of games, apps, and training tools.
Gotcha! That is our April Fool's Day joke introduced by Google Play. Although I wish it was really true because I really need something to keep Marty occupied all the time wherever I am. But April Fool's Day is one of my favorite holidays here near Google because we always introduce very fun, exciting things to keep ourselves lighthearted. We've collected a few of our favorites in a newsletter coming to you next week. Make sure to check them out. Now the real updates. Google Maps bringing you to version 9.49. And here are some of the handy and notable features we'd like to introduce to you. First is the blue dot. Have you ever noticed the blue dot on Google Maps? It tells you where your current location is. And we figure, well, if it's important to tell you where you are, there may be some features that's good for you should be handy as well. And now you can simply tap on the blue dot, and you can bring out a menu with a few really relevant features. The first one is to see nearby places. Let's say you're exploring a new city or a new part of the town, and you just need to know what's around you. By tapping on the blue dot and going to the nearby places, you can see a carousel of interesting places for you to go and see. Isn't that great? Another feature that you can also get from the blue dot is to calibrate your compass. We introduced a new way of calibrating your compass a few weeks ago, and now you can manually trigger to calibrate your compass. Let's say your blue dot is a little bit off or way off, and you just need to calibrate it. You don't have to wait for Google Maps to prompt you to calibrate. You can now manually do so. Another great handy feature is to immediately report a feedback or a mistake that is being reported on Google Maps. Going to report a feedback or submit an issue, you can now quickly correct items, say report a business closure or also road closure to let us know. But the most fun feature we'd like to introduce to you is location sharing. We talked about this feature again a few weeks ago, and now it's ready in the product for you to use. By tapping on the blue dot and going to sharing location, you can quickly tell your friends your whereabouts and send them the ETAs to the awesome party you're about to head to this Friday. You can select the duration of location sharing. Let's say you only need it for about an hour, or you can share it until you turn it off. You can also easily select the person you want to share the location with. Everything is within your control. This feature will also come in handy for me, for example, in June when I ride from SF to LA doing a fundraiser for AIDS research. As a team captain for Team Google and Friends, one of my responsibilities is to make sure I know the whereabouts of all my teammates at any given time to ensure their safety. Now they can find an easier way to share their location with me to make sure that they're safe and sound. That's it for Google Maps. Next, let's go into Google Assistant and look at some of our favorite tips for this week. First, I always like to use the feature of remember. I always forget certain things, must be getting old, this white hair is popping out everywhere. And I don't always have a pen or paper with me to jot down some notes, but I will always have my phone. So let's use Google Assistant and see how it can help us remember the important things in our life.
Remember that I owe Simon $20.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Oi, looks like Carissa lost that bet on how many mistakes I make to Simon. And let's see, you remember that and see how you can recall that memory quickly as well.
What did I ask you to remember?
Here's what you asked me to remember recently. April 14th, 2017. Remember that I owe Simon $20.
See how simple and straightforward that is? Now you can use Google Assistant to really remember the minute detail of your life, or the important memory of your life, whichever you think is more important. The next, we'd like to showcase a new shopping list. When you use shopping list feature on Google Assistant, it will take you to Google Keep. But starting last week, it will now take you to Google Shopping Express's shopping list. You do not have to sign up for Google Shopping Express. You do not have to download the Google Shopping Express app. You also don't have to use Google Shopping Express to complete the purchase. But we're just taking you to a new shopping list that's a little bit more relevant. So let's see how the new list works. It's been spring here, as you can see in our wallpaper. Lots of allergy going on. So let's say we have to add the allergy medicine to our shopping list.
Add allergy medicine to my shopping list.
Okay, I've added allergy medicine to your shopping list.
As you can see, it quickly brings you to the shopping list inside a web view for the item you just added. And then you might wonder, well, before I can go to Google Keep to see my shopping list, how can I get back to it quickly? Simple. Just ask your Google Assistant.
Open my shopping list.
Here you go.
There you have it, right there in your hand. The last feature I'd like to talk about is keyboard. Have you ever wondered, it's so loud here, it just can't recognize my voice, or you have a little embarrassing question that you want to ask, you don't want to ask it out loud. Or perhaps you're in a meeting, then you have to find something very quickly, but you don't want to disturb the meeting. Now you can. At the lower right-hand corner, when you open up Google Assistant, left-hand corner, you will see a keyboard icon. Simply tap on the keyboard to bring out the keyboard, and now you can type in your query. Let's say we want to quickly know what the weather is like. And as you can see, Google Assistant did not speak back to you because we suspect that maybe you need it in a quiet environment and therefore you typed and we're not going to speak back to you. And then let's take a look at another feature that we typically use and one of our favorite features, which is My Day. And let's see how Google Assistant provides information to you about your day. And as you can see, the information is brought up in the text format instead of in the spoken words. So this should be quite handy to help you to continue to find what you need, no matter what the environment that you're in. That's it for Google Assistant. To quickly recap, we brought you Pixel, new version of 7.1.2 on the system update. We also brought you one of our favorite April Fool's joke from 2017, Google Play for Pets, and look out for more coming in the newsletter next week. We also talk about Google Maps version 9.49 with the blue dot features. And very last, we talk about Google Assistant on Remember, on the new shopping list, and also on the keyboard for you to type in your queries. Please remember to click like and subscribe below. We also have a survey in the description box. And one lucky winner might just win something every month if you help us fill out the survey to let us know how we can continue to improve this program. Until next time, stay awesome.